Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Motorsports Magazine from the Airborne Speedway in Plattsburgh. I'm Rick Knowles. Joining me on the show, Racing Rob Knowles. Rob, good field of cars tonight as we approach 145 just before post time.
Did somebody dare you to wear that hat? Was this a dare that you followed through on?
My son calls it my Don Imus hat.
I think it's a Chi-Chi Rodriguez hat, if you ask me. I think I'll refer to you as Chi-Chi on the show from now on. Chi-Chi?
Well, tonight on Motorsports Magazine, we're going to show you a couple of interviews that we actually taped a week ago before the big block race that was scheduled for here. You're going to be talking with sportsman driver Jamie Begor and modified driver who was involved in that big wreck a couple of weeks ago, Jason Durgan.
Yeah, and actually, let's go back to your first point, and that is when we came out to film our Open, we had over 145 cars here, a phenomenal turnout. There were 32 modifieds that had signed in the garage area to compete tonight. Sportsman count was good. Renegade count was close to 30. The four-cylinder divisions were also right near 30, if not at it. So we're looking for some outstanding racing. When you have field and car counts that are that strong, I think it really says something for what the Speedway is trying to do, attracting that number of cars to the racetrack. Now, the interviews, yes, the interviews, we taped them last week before it started to rain. Of course, the Super Dirt Series was here this past Sunday, and unfortunately Mother Nature decided to start raining at 3:30 and then proceeded to rain for about the next 4 hours, and that washed out the Super Dirt Series show. 47 modifieds were here last week, Rick, some real big names in dirt motorsports, but unfortunately it was all for naught. Mother Nature was the only winner, but we did ask Jason Durgan about the wreck that he was in 2 weeks back, along with Bryant Trim and a host of other drivers. And we also talked to him about last Sunday's show, the Super Dirt Series, and racing against drivers like Brett Hearn. So the interviews were taped last Sunday in anticipation of that race, so keep that in mind, especially in the Durgan interview.
Rain certainly has been a four-letter word here at Airborne in 2009.
And it may be again tonight. We've been watching the radar, and we're right on the edge. There is a band that is just to our south, and there's another band that is moving in our direction. And we are right on the edge of that band that's moving in. So we'll hope that this time the rain will stay a little bit to our south and we'll be able to get this show in tonight, because the track started the year off with such momentum going back to week number 1. We had a huge turnout, great crowd, and unfortunately with some of the rainouts that we've had and then the cold conditions and bad weather, we just haven't maintained some of that momentum that we had earlier in the season, and hopefully we'll get a string of good luck here weather-wise.
I think if you were to check over the 50-plus year history of Airborne Speedway, that 144 car count we're at right now would probably have to be a record number.
Well, it really is impressive when you consider the car counts at some other tracks, and how economically it really is a tough time for a lot of these drivers to maintain their automobiles and to keep them out on the racetrack. So I think the track certainly has to be pleased with the car count that they're attracting.
Motorsports Magazine from the Airborne Speedway is coming up next.
Magazine, joined now by a driver from the J&S Steel Sportsman Division. He drives the number 19 from Moores. Here's Jamie Begor. You finally figured things out, I think. Are you on to something?
Yeah, actually we are. We had a left rear brake caliper that wasn't quite working properly the last couple of weeks, and while bleeding the brakes at the garage, we kind of figured out what was going on with it. So we're back on track.
Well, I know the first few weeks you were trying to get that car to hook up on the outside, but you and your crew threw a lot of things at the car, and finally you figured something out. And last week, a real good run for you. Second place, but your car was better in the middle, and that's where you wanted to run.
Yeah, it was. We're not set up yet for that bottom line, but it definitely got to work on that this weekend going into it. But yeah, the second lane was my preferred choice that night. So tonight we'll go out and practice and see if we can't get that bottom lane figured out a little better.
No qualifying action for you guys tonight. You go right to the heat, or right to the feature rather. So that means there's a little more pressure on you guys maybe in practice to make sure that the car is hooked after practice, because you're not going to have a lot of track time tonight.
No, very limited this evening. So hopefully in practice we can pinpoint where we got to do, what changes we got to make, and hopefully be real close for the feature.
Have you really touched the car much since last Saturday?
This week we just made a real small change. Just move the roll center a little more to the right in hopes that it won't roll over as bad as it was, and just a real small change.
Well, Robin Wood has been very fast, as have some other drivers. Bucko's been working his car on the outside, which is typical. But Robin really seems to have the bottom playing into his advantage, because now guys like yourself are working in the middle, other drivers are trying the outside, and here comes the 61. He's just sticking down on the inside and passing everybody.
Yeah, just a total opposite of what we had last year. Everybody wanted to be on the bottom last year, or couldn't pass on the outside. Now we can pass on the outside. Our cars are good up high, but now we need them to be good down low again. So it makes for good racing. I think both lanes are fast. Just who's on target that night will have the better chance of winning.
And the racing has been very good. We've seen guys 2 and 3, even 3 wide sometimes in your division. Has it become more fun?
Definitely. I mean, when you can get side by side with somebody and race for position like that, and just gain a couple inches every time, every lap, it makes for exciting racing.
Well, we hope you have more fun tonight. Again, you're going to be under the gun, a little more pressure tonight, going right out to the feature event. And tell us how the drivers are going to be lined up tonight. I was asking you off camera. Why don't you let everybody know when they see the feature event tonight how things are going to line up?
Basically same as they did last week off last week's handicap. So wherever we started last week, that's where we're going to start this coming week.
So you'll be starting near the front?
I think we're started 7th, so I don't have a problem with that. So hopefully that 7th position will get us up towards the front. And just like to thank my crews and my sponsors. We got a few new sponsors this year that came on board. First Choice Power Wash out of Rouse's Point, Ross Funeral Home, and the ones that have been with me for so long, Ellenberg Auto Parts, Dragoons, Bigor Seamless Gutters, Bigor Supply, Amerigas, Agency Insurance, list goes on and on, but with Vancourt Fuels, and without all my, my crew, Brooke and Dean and Timmy, my wife Beth, the support from the family, it's a good time.
Well, we wish you the best of luck tonight. As always, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's Jamie Bigor, everybody. Stay tuned. More Motorsports Magazine coming right up. Welcome back to Motorsports Magazine. Joined now by a guy who had too good of a seat in last week's big wreck that was in the Ernie's Discount Tools Modified Division. Jason Durgan, you were on the outside of row number 1, coming down to take the green flag, and there was contact, and your car was all messed up. Tell us from your vantage point, what do you think happened? And I know you've probably seen the video as well of the wreck last week. Just take us through what went on.
Well, off turn 4, I got a little bit loose, skated up the track just a little bit, and coming down to take the green, we kind of just ran out of racing room. 59 may have moved up half a lane or so, and I was already out there. I had nowhere to go, and basically I guess we went up onto the wall and sat on top of the front of his car for quite a ways down the front stretch, and a lot of guys clobbered me. They really had tore the car up pretty bad.
Well, why don't you take us through some of the things that you had to repair to this modified?
Well, we started off with the rear end. We had to put a new rear end in the car this week. Torque arms, all 4 shocks, 2 wheels, a lot of stuff. The whole front end had to be replaced. I had to thank George Foley and Ryan McLean and Bucko. Those 3 guys put a lot of effort into this week, let me borrow some parts, and really got us back here today. And the car's running really well. So
we were talking a few minutes ago off camera. Your car's running very well, sitting in the top 5 on the score chart time-wise. So to have all those problems, and then yesterday you came over for some practice, you had some problems again that you had to work on and repair. You got to be pretty pleased. I mean, when you think about everything that went wrong last Saturday, and here you are, you show up real fast.
Yeah, it was pretty good to unload yesterday and run. I think we were running 16.3, 16.4 off the trailer after a total in the car the week before. It was pretty impressive. We had a little transmission leak and brakes. We had a little problem. Our brakes were soft, but we put them back together late last night, and you know, I got a lot of hours in this car, over 40 hours I'd say this week, repairing it and getting it back to today. But I'm looking forward to the race. Hopefully the rain will hold out, and we'll get this thing to the front and make a show of it.
There's about 45 modifieds here, if not more than that. What does that do strategy-wise? Obviously the pressure is on, both in time trialing and then in qualification.
Yeah, well, time trialing, I'm usually never good. I usually always drive the car a little too deep and blow it. But in the heat race, you got to get to the front. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard with a lot of these cars, and some of them are a little bit harder to pass than others. So you really you got to go. You can't wait, because if you wait, you'll be going home on the trailer at the end of the day. So we're hoping to get it to the front and hopefully run in the top 10 in this big race today.
You're still a young guy, but you've been going to the races for a long time, I'm sure, and I bet some of the guys you're going to race against today are guys that maybe you watched when you were little. Has that kind of sunk in? I mean, it's got to be a big deal for somebody like yourself who's still pretty young, and you're out here racing today against guys like Brett Hearn.
No, that's the coolest right there. You know, I went to Syracuse this year, first time, and to watch some of them guys, and then to see them here where I get to run door to door with them is pretty cool. You know, I'm definitely have to say I'm a fan of Brent Hearn's. You know, from TO, we run TO cars and everything, but I'm hoping to get to the outside of them and maybe go around them today if we can.
Well, you made a lot of repairs, and I'm sure there are some sponsors that have financially helped you out to get back out on the racetrack and to get you here in the first place. Want to talk about some of the people on your crew and maybe some of the folks that are helping you financially?
Absolutely. First off, I got to thank my parents. Boy, every week they spend whatever it needs to be spent to fix the car. And Dale's Mobile and Modular Home, he's contributed a lot this year. He's really stepped up and helped me every week. And you know, Taylor Renall, they were a big part in the beginning of the year getting us here and getting the right equipment that we needed. And Rob Wood, my crew chief, and Joe Rabideau, those guys worked all week with me, all night long. You know, we work all day, 40 hours a week, and then to come out the shop after and work 6 to 8 hours in the garage afternoon, it really wears you out. We were tired. We went to bed last night and finished the car this morning, but just everyone, you know, again, George Foley, Ryan McLean, Bucko, and anyone that I'm forgetting, I appreciate everything that everyone does, and there's a lot of good people at this racetrack.
Your strategy, if you get that 100-lap feature event, patience early on, or do you have to go?
Well, it depends on where you start. You know, you almost got to get to the front before the fast cars, but I'm not sure how they're going to do the starts today. If it's not going to be handicapped, so I'm guessing it's heads up, but they may invert the field, and you get to the lead as quick as you can, I'd have to say, you know, without wearing the tire out. Saving that right rear is going to be a big part of this race. And hopefully we can get it to the front and run some good laps. If I can get out in clean air, I think we got a good shot at it today.
We'll hope Mother Nature stays on our good side, and we hope we get this show in. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
That's Jason Durgan, everybody. Stay tuned. More Motorsports Magazine coming right up. Airborne on the front row along with the 27 of Robbie Favreau. Slow pace into turn number 4. Here they come down the front stretch. Chief starter Weasel Bruno throws the green flag, and we're racing at Airborne. Cody Kilburn, the 32, leads down into turn number 2. Robbie Favreau on the outside in the 27, getting a good run down the backstretch. Joe Daniels in the 46, that's the car to watch in this qualifier. He's boxed right now. Rick Hart, the Deuce, down the inside. And then they're double wide in front of Daniels, who is trying to work, it looks like, a middle line coming off of turn number 4. The leader is Cody Kilburn of lap number 1. Robbie Favreau on the outside in the 27 runs in the second spot. Joe Daniels to third on the inside in the 46. Favreau again gets a good run off turn number 2. Little wiggle down the backstretch that allows Joe Daniels to move to the inside. And now the 32 of Kilburn drifts up the track. And here comes little Joe in the 46. He's got room down to the inside, and he is going for the lead on the front stretch. Cody Kilburn had the lead by half a car length. But down on the inside is Joe Daniels, who took the lead into 1, but he got loose into turn number 2. And Cody Kilburn on top of the track is able to hang on to the lead down the backstretch into 3. Daniels again surging back down the inside. Kilburn on the outside. Daniels had the lead into 4. Kilburn takes it back away down the front stretch, down to the stripe, and it is Kilburn by about 4 feet on the outside. Cody Kilburn had the lead, but Joe Daniels running into turn number 2. Drifts up the track. Lonnie Rivers is there in the 7. Here comes Rivers, thinking about a 3-wide move for the lead, perhaps. Rivers down the inside. Daniels the meat and the sandwich. Kilburn still working a rim on the outside in the 32. Here comes Lonnie Rivers on the inside, going for the lead. At the stripe, Joe Daniels had the lead by a couple of feet, but Rivers with a good run on the inside. He's got the lead into turn number 2. Daniels trying to take advantage of the bite on the top of the track. Can't do it. Rivers into the lead. into turn number 3. Lonnie Rivers on car number 7, the 46 of Joe Daniels. Mike Terry is on the move in the number 65. Lonnie Rivers will finish the pass. He's got the lead solid down the front stretch into turn number 1. Lonnie Rivers in car number 7. Mike Terry going after that second spot. He's working down on the inside of little Joe Daniels, who works the top of the racetrack. 4th is Kilburn in the 32. Robbie Favreau runs 5th in car number 27. Here comes Terry going after that second spot. 2 laps to go in the first qualifier for Lonnie Rivers. Remember, top 6 cars will qualify and pick up their handicap heading into the feature event. Lonnie Rivers leads by 2 car lengths. Joe Daniels running in the second spot, working the outside. Mike Terry down on the inside. They're dead even into turn number 4. Chief starter Weasel Bruno unfurls the white flag. 1 lap to go for Lonnie Rivers. Dead even for that second spot. Well, Lonnie Rivers appearing pretty good out front, but the battle is on for second. They got a good race also going for the 5th spot. Down the backstretch, Lonnie Rivers has opened it up 4 car lengths. He's going to win this qualifier, but here comes the race for the second spot. Off turn number 4, Mike Terry is down on the inside, and he's going to get second. Joe Daniels 3rd, Cody Kilburn 4th, 5th Keith O'Neill, 6th Robbie Favreau, 7th to Josh Allen, and 8th to the Deuce in Rick Hart. And then the 2MM for Middleman, he'll start 9th. Shotgun on the field, and the green flag is out. Jason Sawyer on the outside, Josh Terry on the inside. Brian Pugh might have got a piece of the back of Nick Haywood. Otherwise, Haywood was really loose going into turn number 1, but everybody straightens it out. That was in the middle of the pack. And the battle is up front. It's Josh Terry down on the inside, Jason Sawyer on the outside, and Joe Warren thinking about getting in the middle of that mix. At the stripe, it was Jason Sawyer on the outside in the 28. Joe Warren again in the middle, 4 wide into turn number 2. Keith Pelkey throws it down to the inside. As on the outside, Jason Sawyer's hanging on to the lead. Joe Warren trying to put Josh Terry away in the 43. Throw a blanket on the top 5 cars as they race off the 4th turn. The leader is still Jason Sawyer. Joe Warren to 2nd. Nick Haywood in the 29. He is the points leader in the division. He is up to 3rd. Now Joe Warren going for the top spot. Warren in the 13, looking down to the inside of Jason Sawyer, but you can see Sawyer take advantage of the top of the racetrack, really get a good run down the backstretch. And now Joe Warren comes back after him down on the inside. Down the front stretch for the lead, it is still Jason Sawyer in the 28. Joe Warren, the 13, runs in the 2nd spot. Warren pulls even into turn number 2. Last time that 28 just vaulted off turn number 2. You see it happen again. Taking advantage again of the bank on the top of turn number 2. Just shot out of a cannon down the backstretch. Here's Warren again pulling even into turn number 4. Drifting up the track. They touch off turn number 4. Warren really drifted up the track high off of turn number 4, guarding the left front fender of Jason Sawyer in the 28, and then Warren was able to hang on to that number 13, take the lead, but for how long? Here comes Nick Haywood in car number 29. Haywood moving down to the inside, trying to take the top spot away from Joe Warren in the 13, side by side, down the front stretch, Nick Haywood's the leader. Haywood leading by 2 feet. Down on the inside is the 29, on the outside the 13 of Warren. Haywood leading now 4 feet, now a half a car length, now a full car length down the backstretch into turn 3. Joe Warren trying to come back after him. Top 2 cars pulling away from Jason Sawyer, who sits in the 3rd spot. 2 laps to go for Nick Haywood. Nick Haywood showing the way and pulling away from Joe Warren, running in position number 2. Jason Sawyer is 3rd. Randy Ledoux runs 4th. 5th is Lance Raptoy. 6th, Keith Pelkey. Oh, Randy Ledoux sideways coming across the track down to the infield. Everybody misses him. He got off the backstretch, and the right rear tire got in the dirt sitting atop the backstretch, and then that shot him back across the track. And Lance Raptoy with a nice move to miss Randy Ledoux, who came right down across the track to the infield. White flag is out, final time around on this second qualifier for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. Here comes Nick Haywood. He's a little loose into turn number 4, hanging on to it. Checkered flag is out. He's going to get it done. Nick Haywood wins. Joe Warren is 2nd, 3rd, Jason Sawyer, Lance Raptoy 4th, 5th, Keith Pelkey, 6th, Josh Terry, 7th to Brian Pugh. And it looks like Metal Man's going to come home in the 8th spot, and Randy Ledoux will end up 9th after that mishap on the backstretch. So it's Dubuque in the 61, Dragoon in the 36, ready to roll. Into turn number 4, 3rd and final qualifier of the evening for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. Making their way down the front stretch, green flag. Dan Dubuque on the inside, Bob Dragoon in the 36 on the outside. And into turn number 2, Dan Dubuque starts to pull away down the backstretch. Kenny St. Germain loose in the number 40. He's going to lose a spot to Kenny Davies. He might lose a spot to Dave Raptoy as well, who's peeking down on the inside. Dan Dubuque leads. Bob Dragoon runs 2nd. He way up atop the track towards the front stretch wall. Kenny Davies coming on through.
Kenny Davies looking to go from third to first. Chugging down to the inside of that 61 is Kenny Davies in car number 9, and he is taking the lead away. Kenny Davies in the 7-Eleven Mini Mart. Number 9 has the lead. Bob Dragoon coming after second on the outside. Dubuque has the second spot in the 61. Dragoon on the outside running third in 36. Here comes Dave Raptoy trying to get to the inside for that third spot, but right now they're running side by side in front of him. Kenny St. Germain is on the outside running in position number 5. Raptoy in the 21 had the fourth spot. They got a good battle going side by side. Dubuque slows going down the backstretch into 3. Now he comes back on the inside. Out front, it's Kenny Davies in the 9. Bob Dragoon hanging on to the wheel. He loses sideways, gets a piece of St. Germain, gets a piece of Dragoon. They're spinning on the front stretch. Dubuque may have just scraped the wall. St. Germain in the 40 got a little bit loose in coming down the front stretch. Dave Raptoy in the 21, he had to take quick evasive action, and just about everybody in the qualifier really had to think pretty quickly at the wheel, with the exception of leader Kenny Davies, who was in the right place out front.
Parking next to Rich Watson isn't rubbing off on him.
Always good to see the Big Orange over in the garage area. Rich and his crew.
Does a good thing for hamburger sales over in the pit shack, too.
Well, you never have a good thing to say about that poor guy. Rich Watson, you pick on him constantly.
I'm just stating the facts.
One of these nights we're going to bring Rich over here to the tower, and we're going to let him take shots.
He's
you're
too
like,
microphone shy.
You're like Don Rickles on him. All right, we're ready to race again. That'll stop Rick from insulting poor Rich Watson. Green flag is out on the third qualifier. Kenny Davies in car number 9 leading the way. Bob Dragoon second in the 36, but they're thinking about going 3 wide for that second spot. Why not, says Dave Raptoy down the inside. Kenny St. Germain, he's along for the ride as well, but Dragoon is not, as he drifts atop the track into turn number 4. He'll lose 2 spots, 3 spots, maybe even 4 by the time things settle out. Kenny Davies out front, side by side for second. Dave Raptoy in the 21. Kenny St. Germain in car number 40. Off turn number 2, St. Germain has that second spot. Kevin Booten, he's been fast in that number 25. Kevin running regularly again in 2009 here at Airborne in the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. He's got 1 win under his belt as we are halfway in this third qualifier. Kenny Davies pulling away out front. He has a comfortable lead. It is now about 6 car lengths for Kenny in that number 9. Dave Raptoy and Kenny St. Germain, they've got a good battle continuing for the second position. Raptoy in the 21 has second by a nose off of turn number 4, but Kenny St. Germain with a good run down the front stretch, and they're just about dead even. Might have even been St. Germain on the outside by inches for that second spot. Davies continues to pull away, but now it is a 3-car battle for second, with Raptoy in the 21, St. Germain in the 40, and Kevin Booten, he's got the best seat in the house watching that battle for the second spot. 2 laps to go for Kenny Davies. Raptoy second. St. Germain now third on the outside. Kevin Booten in the 25 running in the 4th spot. And it's a good gap back to Bob Dragoon, who is 5th. Robert Gordon is 6th. And Dan Dubuque in the 61 and Mark Karen in car number 5. White flag's been unfurled. Here comes Kenny Davies off of turn number 4. 1 lap to go for car number 9. Dave Raptoy in the 21 going up the track. Opening room up for car number 25 and Kevin Booten. Booten puts his nose down to the inside. He'll take second on the backstretch. Kenny Davies with a convincing win in this third qualifier for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. Here he comes. The checkered flag is out, and Kenny Davies going to get qualifier number 3. Second spot goes to Kevin Booten. Third, it's going to be Dave Raptoy in the 21. 4th to Kenny St. Germain. Bob Dragoon 5th. Robert Gordon 6th. 7th to Danny Dubuque. 8th will go to Mark Karen in car number 5. And it is the 14 for Ryan McLean, the number 49 for Richard Tesser, and then shotgun on the field, Bryant Trim in the 59. Actually, that is the M49, and that is Michel Vien, the father of Maxime Vien, in the number M49. And we got him banging in turn number 2. Andy Haywood not running. Adam Barnaby, no place to go. They made no laps completed, so it is a new beginning for the first qualifier for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds, and we're under green. Mike Wells in the 76, Maxime Vien in the 25. Vien from the outside will take the lead down the backstretch. Jim Introne looking to move in the 9, but so is the pistol Patrick Dupree in the 24. He's boxed right now, sitting in the 6th position down the inside behind Introne. He's got Atkins on the outside, so right now Dupree has no wiggle room. Out in front, it's Maxime Vien in the 25. Mike Wells runs in the 2nd spot. Mike Riel running 3rd in the 02, then Introne in the 9. Now here comes Dupree. He's got room down on the inside. And, well, now sizing things up. He really has no place to go. as Introne continues to run right in front of the number 24. Now Dupree into the 5th spot as he has moved to the inside of Greg Atkins and taken that position away. Atkins back to 6th. Top 5 modifieds will qualify for their handicap. So you want to be in the top 5 if you want to get your handicap spot. And right now, that is where Patrick Dupree sits in the number 24. But he's about to go to 4th as he moves to the outside of Jim Introne in the number 9 modified. So now Introne is under the gun if he wants to pick up his handicap, sitting in the 5th position with the number 9 modified. Greg Atkins is 6th. 7th is Andy Haywood. 8th is Ryan McLean. Running in the 9th spot is the M49 for Michel Vien, and then Bryant Trim in the number 59. Maxime Vien looking for his first checkered flag in his first season running the modified on the Airborne asphalt. Maxime, at the end of 2008, showed up for the sportsman race that we had here at the Speedway, and now it looks like the 25 is a little bit in trouble because Mike Wells in the 76 has moved quickly past down to the inside, and Mike Riel is sizing him up as well. Maxime Vien goes back to the 2nd position. So no sooner did I mention that Vien is looking for his first checkered flag, and he slowed. And Patrick Dupree is up to 3rd in the Greg Norman Estates number 24 modified. He is working on the outside, trying to perhaps go for that 2nd spot around the outside of Maxime Vien. Mike Wells leading in the number 76 modified. Maxime Vien is running 2nd. You can see Vien drift up the track. He took the momentum away from Dupree, who had to get on the binders. He was looking to run the rim and take advantage of the bank off turn number 2 and move around Maxime Vien. But Vien drifted up high, and Dupree had to get on the brakes. Mike Wells leading by 5 car lengths down the backstretch, opening it up on Maxime Vien. Patrick Dupree still sitting in that 3rd spot. 4th is Mike Riel. Jim Introne is hanging on to 5th. Andy Haywood can't find his way around. The white flag is out. Haywood's got 1 lap to go if he gets into a qualified spot for handicap. Throwing it down to the inside into 1 and 2. But he had to hang on to that car, and while doing so, Jim Introne hanging on to that 5th spot. Here they come off turn number 4. Good job, Mike Wells. He gets the checkered flag in the 76. Patrick Dupree moves to 2nd. 3rd, Maxime Vien. 4th to Mike Riel. 5th, Andy Haywood gets it done on the final set of turns. He goes to 5th. Jim Introne was 6th in car number 9. Foley in the number 34. Back to 9th on the grid. There's the points leader, Martin Roy on the 90 from Napierville, Quebec. Shotgun from Messina, Kevin Federley in the 57C. 10 strong, that's the field, and they're boxing it up into turn number 1. Mike Finney had to get on the binders. He got knocked around in the 38. He lost several spots. Richard Tesseur threading the needle into turn number 3. Tesseur trying to squeeze between Craig Riel and Spencer Rushla. Here he comes for 2nd. Oh, that's a pretty good move by Richard Tesseur in the number 49. He just threaded the needle and barely was able to squeak through in that number 49. He's to the 2nd spot. I'll tell you, Durgan's fast in the 17. Jason Durgan was really putting down some fast times this past Sunday, and he has built up a sizable advantage in just a couple of laps. And don't be surprised to really see him run away in this qualifier. And I think he is one of the cars to beat tonight in this modified division. Tesseur is running 2nd. Craig Riel runs 3rd. Don Scarborough in the 11 of Vermont. He is sitting in the 4th spot. Martin Roy, the points leader, into the top 5. Remember, top 5 will pick up their handicap for the feature event. And right now, Martin Roy is 5th. They're 3 wide. No, Roy backed out of it. As he backs out of it, here comes George Foley in the 34, looking to get down to the inside. Foley wants to get that handicap. Right now, he is sitting 6th. Martin Roy goes to the outside of Craig Riel. He's to 4th. Craig Riel back to 5th. Now George Foley going to take that spot away. They run wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Craig Riel into CO2. George Foley into 34 on the outside. He'll take 5th away. Craig Riel back to 6th. Now Chris Kay into number 18 looking to move up a spot. He's trying to get around the CO2. He will. And then Mike Finney a couple of car lengths back behind the CO2. The 57C of Federley headed back towards the garage area. Well, Durgan is cruising out front. He has got a full backstretch lead over Richard Tesseur in the number 49. Martin Roy, 3rd now in that number 90, the Gamache Truck Center. He is the points leader. He's got a 40-point lead in just 4 weeks of competition. He has been the man so far in the Ernie's Discount Tools modified division. Don Scarborough, his car, his modified, getting faster week by week. He is running in the 4th spot. And George Foley, 5th. In the Shamrock Bar and Grill number 34. Running 6th, it's Chris Kaye in the Bigor Supply number 18 modified. And then behind Kaye, it is Mike Finney in the Sheehan & Sons Excavation number 38. Then Craig Reel in the CO2, Spencer Rushlaw in the D'Ambrisi Painting number 21. White flag is out for Jason Durgan. Durgan is on cruise control. Richard Tesseur running second in the 49. Talked to Richard before tonight's racing action. Felt good about his chances. Thought he had a good car underneath him, and he made the move of this qualifier to get to second. But there's no doubt who wins out front. Jason Durgan smokes him. Second goes to Richard Tesseur in the 49. Martin Roy to third. Fourth, Don Scarborough. Fifth, George Foley. Sixth, Chris Kaye. Seventh, Mike Finney. Eighth, it'll be Craig Reel in the CO2. And ninth, it's Spencer Rushlaw in the 21. Leon Gagnon in the 4. Berthiaume in the number 1H has also been fast as they're ready to go in qualifier number 3. On the hammer, green flag. Matt Woodruff, he's looking about a third line on the outside into turns 1 and 2, trying to follow Dan Brown down the backstretch. Brown to the lead. Around Colleen Salisbury, Matt Woodruff going to second. Salisbury is running third. Terry Hayes working around the outside of Andy Kane in the 27. And now Brown drifts way up to the wall. He's really trying to hang on to that thing. Matt Woodruff's going to take the lead in the double nickel. Colleen Salisbury goes back to second. Brown is all over the place in the number 40 as they're parting them left and right. Terry Hayes to the left, Pierre Berthiaume to the right. Out front it is Matt Woodruff in the double nickel, and he's running away. Colleen Salisbury runs second. Now we got a chase. Let's see Pierre Berthiaume try to run down Matt Woodruff. Berthiaume was fast in the first practice. He felt so good about that car, didn't even take it out for the second practice session, as Berthiaume in the 1H was really cooking out front. He's running in the second spot now. Matt Woodruff is the leader in the Liquor and Wine Warehouse number 55. Dan Ruprack in the 74 trying to get a handle. He didn't get any practice in as he was working on that modified, going up to the top of the track, very slow into turn number 3. Matt Woodruff showing the way, Pierre Berthiaume running second, Aaron Bartamy in the B3, and they are, it looks like, slowly running down the double nickel. Terry Hayes running fourth. In the 5th position, it is Colleen Salisbury in the 13. Leon Gagnon in the number 4 is running in the 6. By there goes Dan Brown right off the top of turn number 2, headed towards the Jersey barriers. He was able to get a hold of it and get it back out onto the racetrack. Just too hot on top of the second turn for Brown in the 40. And Berthiaume has closed from about 9 car lengths down to 1. Matt Woodruff in the 55 going to be feeling the heat soon. Berthiaume in the 1 Quebec from Joliet, Quebec, diving down to the inside into turn number 1. Woodruff holding him off. Don't discount the B3 either. Bartamy knows how to get the job done. Berthiaume down to the inside. Here comes Pierre Berthiaume going for the lead. Berthiaume's got room down the inside. He's moving through. Bartamy's going to come with him. They touch into turn number 4. Aaron Bartamy to second. Matt Woodruff in the double nickel running in the 3rd spot. Terry Hayes is 4th. Leon Gagnon running 5th. Top 5 modifieds will qualify for their handicap into the feature event. 2 laps to go for Pierre Berthiaume out of Joliet, Quebec. He's showing the way in the 1. Second is Bartamy now to B3. Woodruff running in the 3rd position in the double nickel. Terry Hayes in the 01 runs 4th. 5th is Leon Gagnon in the 4. He is trying to find a way around Hayes. That's the best battle right now on the racetrack, looming for the 4th position. Dan Brown off the pace, keeping it right up by the wall. Berthiaume, white flag on the field. He's leading by a car length and a half over the B3 of Aaron Bartamy. Now it's about 3 car lengths down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out, going to get the job done. Pierre Berthiaume in the number 1. The B3 of Bartamy runs 2nd. 3rd to Matt Woodruff in the double nickel. 4th will go to Leon Gagnon in the 4. 5th to Terry Hayes in the 01. Colleen Salisbury 6th in the 13, and Andy Kane 7th in the 27, and Jim McComb 8th in car number 5. Qualifying.
Field picks it up off turn 4. Green flag is out. Inside line opens up, drifts a little bit high, and here comes that row number 2. Inside starter, Fountain 77 moves up quickly to take the 2nd spot as they're 3 wide going into turn number 3. Now 4 wide as the 357 thinks about an inside move. Your leader of lap number 1, Gary Frederick, by a nose. Frederick will lead lap number 1. He started 5th. Again, the Bombers go 4 wide off the corner. Fountain picking it up off the far outside. He picked up 3 spots. Seymour following him up in the 357. Bordeaux's right there in the middle, and on the inside, it's the 93 of Bishaw. Eli Bishaw now brings that 93 car to the inside of the 01 of Gary Frederick, and Bishaw will stick a nose in front. Josh LeClaire has moved his number 7 car after starting 9th into the number 3 spot. Seymour's 357 will now take 4th. They come by the start-finish line this time. They're halfway. Gary Frederick trying to stay right with the leader, Eli Bishaw. But Bishaw opens up a couple of car lengths on the 01, and the inside line will allow Josh LeClaire to move up as Bishaw drifts high going into turn 3. Josh LeClaire will be the new leader in the 7 car. Bishaw coming right back on the outside. Picks up that momentum coming down the front stretch, but it's going to be LeClaire to lead him up the backstretch. Again, Bishaw goes high and picks up Mo. They've opened up 3 car lengths on Gary Frederick's 01. White flag is out, 1 to go. LeClaire on the inside in the 7. Bishaw's 93 is second. Good 3-car battle for the number 3 spot between Seymour, Frederick, and Blondo. Josh LeClaire keeps that number 7 on the bottom of the racetrack, and he is going to win qualifier number 1 for the Monster Energy Drink Bombers. Bishaw is second. Kurt Seymour gets the 3rd spot. 4th will go to Gary Frederick in the 01, and Jason Blondo rounds out the top 5 in car number 5. Steve Miller in the 66, shotgun on the field. We'll go to the 79 of Brad Bushy. He's from Cambridge, Vermont. That is your field. Down the front stretch. Green flag is out. Joyle gets a good jump on the outside. He's going to lead the pack into turn 1. Look out. There goes the GOAT. The 26 spins it in turn number 1. He's going to try to get it refired as the field continues on. Simmons' 26 car now backs it down to the inside, but not out of harm's way. It'll bring out the first caution. Then we come back to the 79 of Bushy, the 66 of Miller, Bombard 61, and the 26 of Simmons. Back to green. Another good start for Bill Joyle in the 57. He opens up a car length on the 24 of Whitney. Whitney is now right on the back bumper. Here comes Richner on the move. He's up to the 5th spot on the outside in the Grape Ape. Josh Laporte right there in the green slime, 45. Joyle now, 2 or 3 car length advantage on the 24 of Whitney as the field starts to tighten up for the battle of the number 3 spot. Good battle going on at the back of the pack as well, as there's 4 cars battling for that number 8 spot. Up front, it's all Bill Joyle. Opening up on Wade Whitney's 24. It's 3 or 4 car lengths back to the 3rd place battle. Look out, Joyle got a little bit high coming off turn 2. That allowed Whitney to close the gap just a bit. Collins outside in the 22 and Laporte 45 battle for the number 3 spot. Richner runs by himself in the 5th spot in the 21. They're halfway. Again, Joyle drifting to the top of the racetrack in turn 2. That allows Whitney to gain just a little bit more, and now take a look at the inside. Joyle on the outside, Whitney running on the bottom of the racetrack. There'll be 2 to go this time. And the lead was less than a car length as they crossed the start-finish line. Again, Joyle going to the outside of the racetrack. This time way too high. And Joyle has put his cue in the rack. He's taken himself out of this one. Whitney now all alone up front. He's got 8 car lengths on Chad Collins of the 22. Chad, you don't want to be on the outside of that 57. He's got a bad push to the outside coming off of turn 2. Right now, it's strictly a battle for that number 2 spot. Laporte on the inside, Joyle on the outside. Richner in 4th in the 21. Down the front stretch, the 79 car gets out of the way so the checkered flag can come out for Whitney's 24. Joyle gets 2nd, Laporte 3rd. 4th goes to the 21 of Richner. Collins rounds out the top 5. And it looks like that last qualifying spot went to the 26 of Alan Simmons. I think Gagne's golf cart may be going faster than the front row. Well, at least when Sam's not riding in it. Here they come. Green flag is out. Whalen may have the lead before they get to the first turn. He started in the third row. 4 wide into turn 1. As they bring new meaning to the words slow pace. Martineau is going to lead him up the backstretch. Lavarnway second in the 13. Pugh's 29 moving up on the inside. He's right alongside Lavarnway as they come off turn 4. Martineau leads lap number 1. Lavarnway right on his back bumper looking for a way by on the inside. Look out, the 07 of Gadway. Gets off turn 2. He gathers it back in as they're 3 wide into turn 3. Whalen moving up on the far outside in the 11 car. He'll look to take third. Jeanette moving up on the bottom of the racetrack in the 31, and right in there in the middle of the sandwich is the 29 of Jason Pugh. Martineau still leads it, but he's got challengers coming from everywhere. Lavarnway on the inside, Whalen on the outside. Lavarnway's going to grab the lead. Martineau trying to come right back at him on the outside. This time, the Bombers are halfway. Martineau gets a little bit too high this time in turn 2. He's going to lose a spot to Whalen's 11. He's going to lose more because here comes Myers. Cody Myers on the inside takes third. Fourth will go to Jeanette. Pugh will be back to fifth. Duravage is sixth, and Martineau has dropped to seventh. 2 to go this time by as the battle starts to heat up front. Lavarnway's 13, Whalen's 11 in the Superstar. Cody Myers in the 75. Looking for a three-peat in the Bomber division. White flag is out. 1 to go for Lavarnway. Myers swings it to the middle as Whalen is right there on the outside as they try to gang up on Josh Lavarnway. They are 3 wide up the backstretch. Now Whalen backs off just a bit, tries to pick it up now as they come into turn 3. They'll come off turn 4. Down the stretch they come, and who's going to win it? It'll be Cody Myers in the 75. Lavarnway gets second, Whalen third. Fourth goes to Duravage in the 88. Fifth goes to the 29 of Pugh, and the final transfer spot goes to the 31 of Joe Jeanette. So a good run there in qualifier number 3 for the Monster Energy Drink Bomber division.
Slow pace set by Watson in the 09 and the 68 of Atkins. As they move into turn number 4, the field is well bunched together, and here they come. Down the front stretch, green flag. Larry Underwood thinking 3 wide right off the bat, going to the top into turns 1 and 2. But the 09 drifts up the track. That opens up room for Chris Reeves down the inside. Reeves going to go from third to first on the backstretch. The 00 for Chris Reeves to the lead. Way up high on top the track. The 73 Larry Underwood. There goes the 68 of Jamie Atkins. Atkins goes around. He goes for a spin down the inside of turn number 4. Let's see if he can get that thing rolling. He will. We'll stay under green. Chris Reeves is leading. Second is the Big Orange for Rich Watson. Third, Slick Rick Frenier. He's got his hands full. The Professor, Bucko Branham in car number 20, moving down to the inside. Here comes Branham for that third spot. Down the front stretch, a little touch off turn number 4, and Branham has the third position at the stripe. Bucko Branham runs third. Slick Rick Frenier runs in the 4th spot. Richie Turner in the 17, running in position number 5. 5 cars will pick up handicap towards feature event. Chris Reeves leading and pulling away. There's about to be a new chaser. That's going to be Bucko Branham in the number 20. Branham will try to run him down in the 2nd spot. And it's Rich Watson running 3rd now. Rick Frenier running 4th in the 77. Frenier sizing up Watson down the backstretch and trying to take that 3rd spot away from the Big Orange. Out front, Chris Reeves in the 00. His lead is about 5 car lengths over Bucko Branham. Watson way up atop the track towards the wall. Had to get on the binders and lost ground to Frenier, who is now right there down the inside, trying to take that spot away from Rich Watson, the 09. Richie Turner, he's going to throw his hat in the ring as well as they battle it out for 3rd. 3 cars in the battle for the 3rd spot. Turner down on the inside. Frenier also working down on the inside. Rich Watson, the 09, working the middle of the track up towards the wall. Off turn number 4. They touch down the front stretch. Frenier in a 77. Running 3rd on the inside. Rich Watson trying to come back after him on the outside. Richie Turner right there as well. Larry Underwood has closed in on the battle in the 73. Frenier to third. Richie Turner in the 17 to fourth. Watson on the outside, back to fifth. Larry Underwood looking to move. Richie Turner in that 17, trying to find his way around the 77 of Rick Frenier. Out front, it's Chris Reeves. A 5-car length advantage is now about 3, and then it's a good gap back to the 77 of Rick Frenier. Reeves leading, Bucko Branham running second. Frenier third. Richie Turner goes to the outside of Frenier for that third spot. Larry Underwood right there as well in the 73. Out front, it is Chris Reeves in the 00. They're running up on Jamie Atkins in the 68, and the 20 of Bucko Branham is running up quickly on Chris Reeves. It was 5, it was 3, and now it's about a half-car length lead for Chris Reeves over Branham in car number 20. Atkins sideways off turn 4. He'll keep the car down to the inside. Let's see how Reeves deals with the 68. Not only the 68, but the 20 in the rearview mirror. He's going to go to the outside. The 68 of Atkins down to the inside. Branham picked nicely by Reeves as Branham looked down to the inside, but Atkins went back down to the inside line. White flag is out for the leader, Chris Reeves. Reeves in the 00. Now 2 car lengths. Branham trying to close. Can he make a move on the final lap down the backstretch? It's a car length and a half lead for the 00. Branham drives it down to the inside of turns 3 and 4, closing the gap. Reeves, you can see the rear end come out a little bit. Can Branham make a move? No, it's going to be Chris Reeves for the win. Bucko Branham second. Third, it's going to be Rick Frenier, perhaps by inches at the stripe. Richie Turner very close right there. We'll call Turner fourth. Fifth to Larry Underwood in the 73. And then Rich Watson sixth in the 09. Top 5 cars will qualify for handicap. Here they come off turn number 4. Looking to get on the hammer. Bushy and Liberty. Green flag. Good start for Skip Liberty on the outside as he's going to take the lead into 1 and 2. Chase that car up the track and then power down the backstretch. Skip Liberty pulling away. Skip has had a tough start to the 2009 season. Has had a bunch of mechanical issues that have plagued that number 59. But a fine start here for Skip Liberty in the number 59 car. Jimmy Bushy running in the second spot. Here is the 57 of Howard Stoner. As we noted a couple of weeks back, that 57 team much improved in 2009, although he's loose off too. Speaking of loose, there goes Chad Provost in the 27, and there goes Jamie Begor in the 19, diving down to the inside. There might have been contact between the 57 and the 29 as Ben Huff, he goes sideways into turns 3 and 4, and that brings out a yellow flag in this second qualifier for the JNS Steel Sportsman. Into turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Green flag. Skip Liberty in the 59, showing the way. Jimmy Bushy running second in the 11, then Jamie Begor from the outside in the number 19, third. Now he'll take that car down to the inside. We saw Begor a couple of weeks back really like that middle groove, running in the middle of the racetrack. And I know he and his team were trying to work on setup so that they could get that car a little bit faster down the inside of the racetrack as well. Skip Liberty is the leader. Running in the second spot is Jimmy Bushy. Jamie Begor is third in the 19, but Toby Ebersol is moving in the 82. Skip Liberty really seemed to be off the pace off turn number 2. And now they're 4 wide into turn number 3. Begor down the inside coming for the lead. In the middle, it's Bushy in the 11. Toby Ebersol is there diving down to the inside. And at the stripe, it's Begor by about 3 feet. Skip Liberty just suddenly seemed to go way off the pace in the number 59. And they had it 4 wide into the third turn for the lead. And out of that, Jamie Begor is the leader. Toby Ebersol runs second. Jimmy Bushy runs third. Howard Stoner is fourth in the 57, but lurking right there in the 61 is Robin Wood trying to take that spot away. Begor in the 19, going back to that middle line that he worked successfully 2 weeks back. Successful to a second place finish in the number 19. Halfway this time by for Jamie Begor. Here comes Robin Wood to the inside of Jimmy Bushy. They're dead even into turn number 4 for third. And now Robin Wood moving through on the inside. He'll take that third spot. Jimmy Bushy running fourth in the 11. Top 5 spots, pick up handicap for the feature event. And right now, Howard Stoner is in the hot seat, running in the 5th position with the number 57, and Ben Huff in the number 29. Right now, on the outside looking in terms of handicap for the feature event. Jamie Begor in car number 19, leading by a couple of car lengths over Toby Ebersol in that 82. Then it is 2 car lengths back to Robin Wood in third, and a good gap back to Jimmy Bushy in the number 11, who sits in the 4th spot. Howard Stoner running 5th. He's about a half car length off the back bumper of Bushy. Robin Wood trying to close in on the 82 of Toby Ebersol and challenge for that second position. Ebersol holding him at bay by 1 to 2 car lengths, but Robin Wood seems to be closing that gap. It was 2 car lengths. Now it's down to 1. And Toby Ebersol may have his hands full here in, well, he's going to have his hands full right now with Robin Wood as he is close to the back bumper with 2 laps to go. Jamie Begor in the 19 continues to show the way by a couple of car lengths. Then Ebersol in the 82. Begor started to drift up the track, appeared to be a little loose that time, but it really didn't hurt him in the advantage that he's built up. With a couple of car lengths, he maintained that down the backstretch. Toby Ebersol trying to get to the back bumper of Jamie Begor, but still running a car length off the pace that Begor is setting with a white flag out on the field. Jamie Begor had trouble last time into turn number 2. Much better job this time by that number 19, and Begor leads him down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Here he comes off the 4th turn with a battle on for second. Checkered flag is out, and Jamie Begor is going to win. Second goes to Toby Ebersol, third to Robin Wood, fourth to Jimmy Bushy, fifth to Howard Stoner, and sixth will go to Ben Huff in the 29 and shotgun to Sean Duquette in the number 18. 7 to run. Here they come. Off turn number 4. Down the front stretch. Green flag. Travis Bruno in the 33. Danny Sullivan in car number 3. Sullivan looking down to the inside, but Bruno with a good run off the second turn. Here comes Brian McGinley in the 35. He and Bill Sawyer running side by side for the 4th position. Tyler Terry going to work the rim on the outside. He'll go 3 wide into turn number 4 and take his 44 right up to the wall. And a little contact perhaps, just barely rubbing with a 39. As they're still 3 wide into turn number 2 with McGinley down to the inside, the 39 of Sawyer in the middle, and Terry in the 44 on the outside. Out front it's Travis Bruno in the 33. Danny Sullivan in 3 runs second. Mike Shagden running third. And they're still running side by side now for the 4th spot. The 35 of McGinley, the 44 of Tyler Terry. Terry on the outside had 4th at the stripe. Brian McGinley down on the inside. Well, Mike Shagden drifts up the track right into the path of Terry. And McGinley had to get on the binders as well down on the inside as he appeared to be loose as he drifted up the track, and that opened up room for Sean Duquette, who moves through down on the inside. He is into the 5th spot. Travis Bruno leads by 4 car lengths over Danny Sullivan in the 3. Then it's 2 car lengths back to Mike Shagden in the 86, and closing in on Shagden is Tyler Terry. Terry sees racing room down to the inside, and he steps into it. Terry in the 44 going for that 3rd spot down to the inside of Mike Shagden. Sean Duquette with a good view of the battle for 4th, and he's going to try to follow Tyler Terry through. Although, again, that 18 appeared to be a little bit loose coming off the 4th turn, but he gets good bite down the front stretch into 1 and 2. He is to the inside of Shagden's 86, and he is taking that 4th spot away. Out front still, Travis Bruno in the 33. Bruno looking for his first checkered flag of the season. In that number 33, first year in the J&S Steel Sportsman for Travis, and he's showing the way. Danny Sullivan, another youngster, in the number 3, running in the 2nd spot. Tyler Terry, no racing veteran himself, another youngster in the 44, is 3rd, but here comes Duquette in the 18. Sean Duquette, number 18, to the inside. He's to 2nd. He goes from 4th to 2nd, moving down to the inside, but Tyler Terry comes back after him on the outside. Now Travis Bruno's got a couple of heavy hitters running right behind him, and Sean Duquette, he's not running right behind anymore. He's moving through on the inside. Sean Duquette in the 18 goes from 4th to 1st in a lap and a half. Duquette to the lead. Here comes Tyler Terry threading the needle in the middle groove. Terry in the 44, moving to the 2nd spot. Now challenging Sean Duquette on the outside, but no, Duquette takes that spot. He'll hang on to the lead and drift up the track right in front of Tyler Terry, leading by a half car length. Terry runs in the 2nd spot on the 44. Then it's 3 car lengths back to the 3 of Dan Sullivan. Travis Bruno's on the outside running 4th. And the 86 of Mike Shagden, 3 wide into turn 3. Shagden, there he goes, sideways. Sullivan's going around as well. Synchronized spins in turns 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Shagden is rolling. The 33 of Sullivan he's also rolling as well. I'll try to get Sullivan rolling down the front stretch. He's moving. Here comes the field. Off of turn number 4. Sean Duquette is out front, driving it up near the wall. White flag is out. Sean Duquette, Tyler Terry running 1-2. It's about 3 feet separating the 2 cars. Tyler Terry's going to go to the outside. Tyler Terry down the backstretch, running in that 2nd spot, running right into the back bumper, on the back bumper of the 18. Now down the front stretch. Here they come off 4. Checkered flag. Sean Duquette wins. Tyler Terry's going to run 2nd. 3rd, it will be Travis Bruno in the 33. 4th to Brian McGinley in the 35. 5th to Wild Bill Sawyer in the 39. 6th goes.
Well, Rob, it's raining.
It's important that we get this done, Rick, in one take because it's raining, and we've had so much rain here at the racetrack every Saturday or Sunday when we've tried to run events. Just no luck whatsoever, and we got our qualifying action in tonight in most of the divisions, but no feature events, and Mother Nature wins again.
We hope you enjoy the interviews with Jamie Begor and Jason Durgan, as well as the qualifying action that we brought you from tonight. We'll have a much longer Motorsports Magazine on our next program. Hopefully the weatherman will cooperate with us.
Well, the way things have been going, it seems as though every Saturday it has some type of weather system moving through the area. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But you just in the racing business, nobody beats Mother Nature, and she's on a win streak right now.
So no Watson Glass Driver of the Week this week. The Bomber jackpot will grow to $125 now for anybody that wins the B and the A feature.
That's a pretty good jackpot, as long as they have a B feature. Like tonight, we weren't going to have a B feature, so nobody was going to be in the running for that.
Well, that's because of the rain. We weren't going to have a B feature. We were going to have a mess with 32 Bombers out there at once.
Yeah, good field again. Last few weeks, we've had lower car counts in the Bomber class, but that number was right back up in the 30 range again.
So for Racing Rob, I'm Rick Knowles. Thanks to Gene Gagne and Sam Zins, our cameraman, or should I say videographers. In the case of Sam, she gets a little angry whenever I say call her a cameraman. And thanks to Jim Watson from Watson Glass for providing the funding for Motorsports Magazine. Have a good night, everybody, from a rainy Big A.